This meeting is being recorded. Welcome in, folks. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the chat here and put it over here so I can hang out with everybody inside of the chat. Cody, did it snow a ton up there? I have a friend in Montana and he said it dumped.
Yeah, we got like a foot of snow, which is great because I'm moving this weekend, so it's a fun
A
time to move.
foot of snow. And hey, Cody, remind everybody where you are.
Yeah, I'm in North Idaho, just like 2 hours south of Canada, half hour from Spokane, Washington.
Love it. So I want to hear where some of our friends on this webinar are. We got 49 people on here. Alan, Allison, two Allisons, Amanda, two Barbs, Barry, Ben. Where are you guys located? Idaho, Toronto. What area of Toronto, Barry? Memphis, Georgia. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a Birmingham, Alabama guy. Downingtown, Pennsylvania. I feel like 90% of the towns in Pennsylvania end in a town. I might be wrong on that, but Allentown, Downingtown. Nathan in Uganda. Nathan wins right now for the longest distance to join this webinar. Indiana, Montreal, Quebec. Patrick, how about you, Jay, Jillian, Katie, Lauren? Where are you guys located? Lorenzo?
Wait, you
Oh,
missed the epic one. Katie says Ocean Springs, where an alligator has been known to come down my street.
oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's probably the most interesting thing I've heard today. Definitely. Smoky Mountains, San Antonio, New Zealand. Katie smiling. I'm smiling too, Katie. Manny, Mark, Melissa, Nico, Patrick, Peter, Robert. Great to have you guys here. Cody, if you don't mind, just keep letting folks rock and roll inside of today's workshop. You're probably looking at me and wondering, why is Brian's son here? Um, and the answer to that is I'm not Brian's son, actually. I have been alongside Brian here at Growth Tools for the last 7 years. Gustav, good to see you, all the way from South Africa. Sue from Anaheim, great to see you guys. So I am going to be running Kathleen, welcome in. Today's webinar. Brian is out, and the reason that Brian is out is because he has the flu, which is really sad. Hey, if the flu is going around where you are, please type in flu in the chat. Hey, look, I'm going to type it in right now to everybody. Flu, because my daughter just got 102-degree fever while at school. So super bummer. Connie, I know. No flu there. Good. That's good. Glad all of you guys are here. Today, we are diving into one of our favorite subject matters, which is not $10 PDFs, actually. Is it, Cody? We don't
Not
we don't run a nonprofit selling $10 PDFs. Some of you here might, by the way. Um, but instead, we're here to talk about how to turn that $10 PDF of yours into a $10,000 offer. And you might be wondering, how in the world would I do that? What does that even look like? That sounds crazy. Um, and I can assure you that everyone here, at least the hosts, have probably felt that same way. Cody, did you have a moment where somebody paid you a slew of money and you were like, huh?
Oh,
You ever-
100%.
Yeah, you've had that moment, right? Um, Brian, our founder here, has had that moment. In fact, I'm going to share a little bit about that in just a little while. But I'm super glad all of you guys are here. This is going to be a phenomenal, we like to call it not a listen shop, but a workshop. I'm going to engage with all of you guys. So, Leandro and Lisa and Mark and Melissa and Nathan and Nico and Patrick and Roland and Sandra and Sabrina and Solomon and Sue, all of you guys are welcome here. I'm so glad you're here. You're welcome in the chat. Please feel free to stick along until the very end because we've got not only some cool bonuses, but the magic is made in Q&A, you guys. And you don't just turn a $10 PDF into a $10,000 offer in a 45-minute workshop. Hate to break it. If you want to leave now, you can. But I am going to lay out the frameworks and the groundwork for you guys today that's going to show you exactly what to do to transform that $10 PDF into a $10,000 offer. And hopefully, if you feel like it's your right next step, I'll give you and equip you with some tools that'll help you to actually do that after the workshop. How's that sound, everybody? Cody, Bethany?
Let's go.
Sounds
Sounds
great.
awesome.
Wonderful, says Jillian. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Connie. A High Rock Lake, North Carolina. That's beautiful. I love it. Awesome. Glad all you guys are here. Let me tell you a quick story of something that, it's funny. Every time Brian shares this story, I think that's silly because you're such a successful business owner. You've consulted with 8, 9 figure businesses, run an 8 figure business yourself. How would this blow your mind? But it did. So about 15 years ago, our founder, Brian Harris, got an email from Noah Kagan. Does anybody know Sumo or Noah Kagan? If you do, type in Noah in the chat. At the time of Brian receiving this email, Brian was selling like $30 courses, $29 to be exact. Because, hey, everybody wants a $29 course. I don't know about a $30 one, right? Have you guys ever dealt with cheap people? Yeah. So Brian saw this email from Noah while he was out there gritting and grinding, and he had just recently quit his job to try and scale up a $29 course sales business. And he got this email from Noah Kagan, selling an hour of Noah's time for $1,000. And it was one of those sheer moments of like, huh? What? An hour? What was even wilder, Cody, is you can see it on the screenshot. And by the way, I love that Brian screenshotted that. This is how you know it was a pivotal moment for him, because he screenshotted the thing like 15 years ago. I'm like, what? Who does that? Screenshots this. What's crazier is look at underneath $1,000. What does it say? Sold out. Completely sold out. That's wild, right? For Brian, that was wild. And he thought, that's crazy. But then he thought, hold on a second. Is it crazy? Because for me to sell $1,000 worth of goods at my $29 program course I'm selling, I got to sell 35 of them. That's a lot of people. I only need one person to buy this $1,000 hour with me. So what happened? Brian actually changed his mindset. 10,000 units of one thing or one thing for $10,000. It's a big difference. Guess what, guys? It's a whole lot harder to make real money by selling cheap stuff. Number one, because you got to have a lot of people to buy it. And number two, you're going to get a lot of cheap people buying it. And I'm not sure about you, but when I go to McDonald's to buy cheap food, my customer service sucks. Why? Probably because they deal with cheap people all day. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this concept today, but what's amazing about selling $1,000 for an hour or $10,000 for a year-long coaching or a 90-day coaching program is that the person that you work with actually gets results. I'm going to talk to you guys in a little bit. I have a shelf full of things that I paid for, $29, $15, $10, that didn't get me results, right? So, really quickly, there are two very distinct business models. If you're an online coach or if you run an online business or want to run an online business, write online, please, in the chat. I got to know who we're talking to here. If you are an online coach, want to run an online business, or currently do run an online business, please type online. Blessings like, yes, I do. Heather, online. Sean's a coach. Nina's online coach. Melissa's an online. Kristen, Amanda. Cool. So we're talking to Robin starting an online coaching business. That's super exciting. There are two very distinct models in our space, okay? One of them is what we would call low ticket. And a ticket just means it's the price of the good you're buying. This is what Brian was doing when he was selling a $29 course years and years and years and years ago. Gustav's starting, love it. Kathleen's getting a coaching business off the ground. That's awesome. Two ways to look about this, you guys. And I want you to start to frame your brain as to what's best for me. Because it might be that you're into low ticket, and that's great. Low ticket is a large number of people that purchase a small ticket price item. Generally, the outcome of that is low results as well. Think about it this way. It's going wide relationally versus going deep. You're going for hundreds, if not thousands of people to purchase your low ticket, $100, $30, $40 thing every single month. You can see up here, it's a linear, wide casting of the net. The other model, however, the model that Brian ran into and discovered with Noah selling $1,000 package is what is called high ticket. Write high, if you will, write high in the chat, HIGH, by the way, not HI, although hi to all of you guys. Write high in the chat if you're familiar with the high ticket model. A high ticket model is where you charge a significantly more amount of money. So generally that's a four-figure investment to work with fewer people and ultimately transform them to get more results because they're more bought in, and a few other reasons we'll talk about later on. So Barb's into high ticket, Heather's into high ticket. No, Amanda, we're not high, but we are high on high ticket. That's awesome. Kirsten's into high. Love it. Jillian, Nina, Joe, sweet, sweet, sweet. So the fun thing that I love about high ticket, and you guys, I've been in this world for the last 8 years. I actually said that to someone on Zoom not long ago, and they were like, "Did you start when you were 16?" Which I really thought that was sweet. Uh, right, Cody? That's a good one. Bethany knows it. I'm our resident babyface here, and I'm freshly shaved. So even better. The glory behind what we have found in high ticket versus selling courses is that there is actually an inflection transformation point. Notice this here. We're able to go deep with the customers that you work with and actually finally hit that level of transformation that when you go wide up here at the top, you'll just never touch. And I'll talk about this in a little bit, but I'm sure most of you can relate. How many books on your bookshelf out of the books that you have transformed your life? I would guarantee you there's one or two of them, for sure, for all of us. But what ratio? It's probably 1% maybe of books that you've read have transformed your life. Have you ever invested in high ticket before? In a coach, in a mentor, in a guide? What did that do for transformation in your life? Because you're able to go deep, not just wide. It really is kind of the Jesus model, right? He went deep with just a few folks and then relied exclusively on word of mouth from there. And y'all, there is a massive mega church in our community. And I think that's one of the greatest rubs to this mega church is that they're just going wide. They're not getting deep with anybody there. It is the wide model. Let's bring as many people in as we can, right? Sue said her life coach transformed her life. That's amazing. Kathleen mentioned that's the book that transformed her life. The Bible, I mean, that's one of my two. I think I probably have two or three that have transformed my life. So I'm not against a book transforming your life. I firmly believe that it can. However, if I look at ratio of high ticket that I've invested in to ratio of books, it's certainly no contest. I'm able to go deeper in a high ticket relationship. And look, this is my goal for all of you as we kick off today's conversation. I want you to have clarity, and I'm going to have coffee, if that's okay, right? So I want you to have clarity and understanding, is high ticket coaching for me? I want everybody on today's call, everybody in the chat, from Barb to Jillian to Joe to Robin, Gustav, everybody who's not been in the chat yet, you will be. I want you to make a decision to either say, I'm really interested in this. This feels awesome. Or, nah, not really for me, right? That's my goal today. So a few ground rules. I'm going to share our understanding, our experience. I've been in this world for nearly a decade in this coaching high ticket space. This is also a workshop. This is interactive. I want you to be here. I want you to chat. I want you to dive in. Cody, I believe that we are doing a replay, but we're maybe expiring it. So be here and be present. Sakila, you're interested. Sounds awesome. Get back to us at the end of this and see if you're still interested. Let's see, a couple questions. Barb, you want to deliver high quality? Yeah, totally. Robin signed up with Growth Tools. Awesome. So excited to transform. That's amazing. It's been hard to justify high ticket items because you've been broke most of your life. Kathleen, we can totally talk about that. Liz mentioned the point. She thought the point of low ticket is to get people into your world so you can build trust and eventually convert some. If that is your path, Liz, that can do that. I'll talk in a little while about a few folks who can leverage that. We simply choose a little bit of a easier model to land new high paying clients versus setting up multiple funnels and multiple products and multiple offers like having a downsell. So no sweat on that. Listen, today's going to be fun. What I promise you is that it will feel light and it will feel fun. And this is going to be really hard for you to screw up. I'm a dude in Alabama. Kathleen gets it. I hate funnels. Yes, Joe says, I would love the easy path. Come on, easy street. I am in Birmingham, Alabama. I am Birmingham bred. I'm an Alabama dude. So if I can figure this thing out, I guarantee you, all of you in the chat are smarter than me, and so can you. So I'm going to present to you guys a simple way to transform a $10 PDF into a $10,000 coaching program. And I know you can do it because we have clients, Cody, and you see it all the time, that do it every single week. So let's dive in. By the way, if you want to stick around, please do. You're going to have a decision to make if you're interested in high ticket. And if you are, I can get you some additional bonuses. And if you're like, nah, not me, that's cool too. You can leave in the next 30 minutes, right? This is all about you. It is not about me or Cody or Bethany, for the record. Although I'm super glad you two are here with me. So let's kick things off with a question for you guys. And this is going to be part of the workshop, not listen shop. So in the chat, I want you to share what is your 2025 revenue goal and why? What is your 2025? We're 30, how many days? 38 days or so into the month, into the year. What is your 2025 revenue goal and why is that your goal? Throw it in the chat for me. Once we get 6 people to write it out, we can move on. Sean, 2 million. Why though, Sean? Like, what does it get you? What does 2 million get you? Julie, 165K replaces her day job. Awesome, Julie. So that you can do what? Kirsten, 40K, she needs healthcare. Great. Good why. What's the healthcare you need? And think and chew on that, Kirsten. What does that get you by having that healthcare? $250,000 for Lena because she gets the freedom back of her time. Come on. Love it. $300,000 work from many different locations throughout the year. So that allows you to afford to travel and work in other places. Amazing. Breaking the glass ceiling. $100,000 gets you debt free. Build his kingdom. Yes, Melissa, that's amazing. 225 for Barry so his wife can quit her retail job. You can pay back investors. Awesome, guys. So I'm hearing a lot of freedom behind this. I'm hearing a lot of I can choose what I want to do behind that. That's amazing. $90,000, 216, 260. Awesome. 75 to allow a book tour next year. Super cool. Y'all, really good stuff in here today. What I want you to do is write that number down and under it, put your why. Because here's the thing. What we have learned after coaching people for more than 10 years, going deep and actually transforming lives, not just pushing $10 ebooks, what we have learned is your why is the thing that keeps you going. It's the thing that after a long week or a tiring weekend, much like potentially I'm up against with a 20-month-old that has the flu, potentially, I might have a long weekend, but I'm going to wake up on Monday knowing my why and be fired up to achieve the week nonetheless. 102-degree fever, sick daughter, or not. So write down not just the number, but why you're after it. Question 2. What is your number one fear right now? I'm going to do an exercise in just a little bit that we do nearly every meeting that we run, nearly every workshop that we do, we run this exercise. We call it clear the fear. So it's really, really difficult to focus when you're not thinking abundantly, when you're thinking scarcely. When I've got my daughter in the back of my mind who has 102-degree fever and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to knock me down for 5 days. I'm going to be out and down for the count. It's hard for me to get in my creative zone of genius with that, right? So what I'm going to do with you all's permission, I'm going to pray in just a second. And I'm going to ask really the Lord to reveal to all of us in this workshop today, what's our number one fear right now? Then I'm going to ask, but what's the truth? What's the real thing behind that? What's the truth of this, right? And if it's okay with you guys, I'll kick us off. Cody, Bethany, I'll lead us for about a minute in quiet and meditation or prayer if you're into that. And then we can share. And I'd love for you guys to share in the chat as it comes to you. Okay. Father God, thank you, Lord, for just another day. God, I ask for each and every one of these individuals in the chat inside of this workshop today, or those even watching the recording. God, I ask that you would lay and implant on their hearts and their minds what the fear in their brain, the thing holding them back from action might be today. What is that thing, Lord? May you reveal that to them now. And God, I also ask for a simple truth, for a real provision, for a light, for a truth, for them to be revealed and shown what the real thing holding them back may be. What is the real truth that allows them pure joy and happiness and clarity, Lord? We come to you seeking these things. Amen. Cody, you got anything? Want to kick us off?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mentioned earlier, my family's moving, so easy fear is I don't have enough time for everything. And the truth is, it has been a consistent one for me recently is just do the most important thing every morning and everything else will work out.
Mm, lack of time.
Amen. Yeah.
Betty?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was going to say fear usually comes from scarcity things. But your truth sounds like a good antidote to my fear as well. Because my fear currently is that like distraction will hold me back from more important things that I need to focus on. I feel like the urgent is tyrannical and can crowd out the important. And so I think just focusing, like Cody said, on the things, like the most important things first is, the truth that will counter that fear for me personally.
Mhm. Mm, that's good, Bethany. Um, Yeah, generally I agree. Most of my fears do come from lack of abundance, lack of provision, right? I'm gonna read out a few of these and then share mine. Um, Robin said, top fear for me is that people won't commit to working with you. Robin, what's the truth behind that? I think you said later, what's real? I won't know until I put it out there and I get started. They won't work with me if they don't know I can help them. Yes, that's exactly right. Kelly, you mentioned your fear is not being able to turn back. Your truth is that I've never turned back a day in my life. That's cool. Um, Allison mentioned her fear is the economy. Allison, what's the truth behind that? Um, I think for me, most of my fear today is going around sickness. Brian's out, friends are dropping, daughters potentially dropping. I'm like, oh no, please not again, Lord. And I think the truth to that is that sick is forced rest and maybe it's needed, and that's okay, right? Barbara, fear not attracting the right clients. What's the truth? Barbara, what's the truth to that? Melissa, people who come to you currently can't afford you. Okay, that's a fear. What's the real thing? What's the real truth? Um, Potentially a truth to that is maybe we can talk today about achieving and finding the right people. Um, So that's a really important exercise. Let's settle the snow globe, as Brian often says, and dive in now. Dive in specifically to how do we build what could be a high ticket coaching business? How do we transform this $10 PDF into a $10,000 coaching offer? Um, there's three real keys. By the way, I love that there's three keys on this. My wife, Haley, we've been married for 7 years, and she was like, you stole my car key. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't steal your car key. This is my car key. She's like, no, that one's mine. I'm like, no, it's not. It's mine. Look at the back. It was mine. She's like, well, I don't know where mine is. I'm like, bro, I got nothing for you. And sure enough, she texted me earlier today, and she's like, sorry, I got onto you. I retraced my steps. That always seems to work. It was in my art bag. So look, there are three keys to starting, not your car, but there are three keys to starting and building a real legitimate high ticket offer. That's what HTO stands for, or a high ticket business. I got to share Sue's real quick because I think a lot of people mention the economy. Sue mentioned her fear is the economy come to a grinding halt. If so, her income would stop. The truth is, we'll all be fine. We're in God's hands. Yeah, absolutely. Second truth to that is the economy has stopped many times before, and we're all still here, right? We all have found a way. It is totally a-okay. And even if the economy does stop, hopefully today you'll learn that doesn't mean everybody stops spending. Talk about that in just a second. So, three real keys to having a high ticket offer. Okay. The first is people with money are actually just easier to sell to. And that's just true. You guys might think that, everybody in your industry or everybody that you talk to is cheap. And actually, that might be true. Your marketing channel of selling a $10 PDF to book a call might be attracting the cheap side of your market. That could be the case. But that doesn't mean that everybody in your industry is cheap. You see, your industry has people with money, a top 1, a top 5, a top 10% in your industry. They're not cheap. They're looking to buy. Think about it this way. There was a massive crash 2007 and 2008, right? The economy was in a terrible place. A terrible place. Right now, people are talking about fears of the economy going to a terrible place. Guess what happened? Tesla just launched their most expensive car ever in the worst economy ever. Good timing. Great idea. Nobody will buy expensive things. The economy just crashed. That's just not true. They went after the 1% of wealth. They sold a. Do you remember how much the Roadster was, Cody?
I think it was 250,000.
Yeah,
I
I
say
think
it
it
was
was
like
like
a quarter
250.
million. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's where my head was at.
As much as a Lamborghini, really.
Yeah. So, no offense, Tesla, but I'll gladly take a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. So look, 2008, toughest time possible. Bam. They're selling a $225,000 car. How? Well, look, they went to the top of the market. There is a top of every market, and there are top tier programs and offers, and there are top tier individuals buying in that market. Yeah, that's right. Connie said there's a flip side to the poor economy. People need coaches. Totally. Love it, Connie. It's a great mindset switch right there. Hey, and guess what? In a poor economy, guess what? There's still people buying $10 books, but you're going to have a lot of people to buy that $10 books, right? A whole lot of them. So instead, Elon and Tesla took what they call and have coined the Hershey's Kiss model. They started at the very top. High priced, low volume car for the ultra rich. That was the Roadster, 2008. Then they stepped into a mid tier, mid volume car for the Model S. That was about 4 years later or 6 years later in 2012 with the Model S. By the way, the Roadster funded all of this because it was super profitable. That revenue went down into fund their day to day car that you see today everywhere, the Model 3. Right? So, this is the Hershey's Kiss business plan. And in such a large part of why it works is there are two hats that people can wear. They can wear a buyer hat, which is what's the price? What's it cost me? Or they can wear an investor hat, which is what am I going to get in return? One of my favorite skits, I think it was Hormozy did this a long time ago. It may have been someone else, Sam Evans or something, I can't remember. And they went up to random people with a janky backpack, like it was used. It was just a backpack. And he was like, hey, how much did you pay for this backpack? 95% of people were like $5, $10. I don't need a backpack. I don't want to buy it. 1% of them said, what's in the backpack? That's a great question. That's an investor. That's a smart question, right? So who are you talking to, right? Do they have a consumer hat on? They're looking at what is it going to cost me? Or do they have an ROI hat on? They're ready to invest. Cheap people just don't buy expensive things. So stop wasting your time with them and start focusing on people with money. You're not going to attract people with money with a $10 PDF. Key number 2. Remember, there are 3 keys. My wife lost all of them. Kidding. She retraced her steps and knows where they are. Key number 2. This is already happening in your industry. I get it. I totally get it, y'all. I have heard it time and time again. No one in my space, no one in my industry charges this. That's just not true. The best charge it. Think about it this way, right? There are a lot of hotels. This is up in Nashville. I'm going up to Nashville to be with Brian Tuesday night and Wednesday all day together. I'm looking at hotels. There's a Wood Spring Suites. It's 58 bucks, 3.5 stars. And guess what? There are so many rooms available at this place. I could go tomorrow and get a room day of, right? Now, ultimately, that's just a place for me to lay my head. It's a place to crash. It's got heated and cooled and a bed. So does the Four Seasons. But guess what? The Four Seasons is $524. And do you think I could get a room tonight? There's probably no chance. It is totally booked out. Y'all, this does not just happen in the hotel industry. This is happening in your space. Okay? So, let me put it this way. Somebody earlier mentioned they have a book. That's amazing. I mean, writing a book is a wonderful thing. I published my first book this June. I can go ahead and tell you, though, I did not get rich off of my book that I wrote through KDP and is on Amazon. And I never will. I just never will. I'm not a never guy, but I never will. Grant Baldwin's a good example of this as well. He has a book on Amazon, but he also has a $10,000 coaching package. Who do you think he transforms more? Coaches that pay $10,000 to work with he and his team? Or individuals online who buy a $10, $15, or $20 book? Totally. Right? It's the people that he actually coaches. Same thing with Mike. Mike Wozniak, he has a $15,000 offer that he helps C-level executives solve leadership challenges. Helps with culture and communication, relationships, alignment, those kinds of things. He's got a book online. Why are you looking at this? It's like 20 bucks. Do you think that Michael is selling thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of his book and that's what fuels his 8-figure business? No. He's got a done with you coaching package that's 15 grand. Client of ours, his name is Jeff. Jeff is awesome. He is a holistic veterinarian. He's got a book online too. Books are awesome things to have. Jeff is not crushing it with sales of his book, transformation of his clients through his book. He's focusing on the top percentage of pet owners to help them answer structured paths and questions for their holistic health of their pets. He has a $5,000 coaching package. I just want to be clear. Go to your veterinarian tomorrow and ask them if they have a $5,000 coaching package, and they're going to look at you like you're silly. It's because they think nobody in my industry does that. Nobody in my space does that. Lydia says there is a room at the Four Seasons for $555. Lydia, do you have your investor hat on or do you have your consumer hat on? Are you going to buy it? I love it. Sean joined a $20,000 program a few days ago. Sean, that program is probably going to transform your life. That's awesome, man. Good for you. I love it. Y'all, I have seen this work in so many different industries. We have worked with clients who do coaching, high ticket, so for like $5,000 or more, dating for widowed women over 50. Worked with a guy, his name was Joe Slack. He teaches and coaches people how to create board games. Cody, can you think of some more strange industries that this has worked in?
Yeah, one of our clients right now, she helps nonfiction authors write characters based on the Enneagram. Like super, super specific.
Wow. Yeah. And I've coached her through some sales training, and I know that she's closed like 4 or 5 people into that offer. So there you go. It works. It's not just an offer that she has sitting on a shelf. People are buying it. They're into it. They want it. They need it. But there's a few things that you have to have in order to transform a $10 PDF into an actual coaching program. This is what I like to call key number 3, which is TAP. And by the way, TAP stands for, what does TAP stand for again? Training, access, and perks.
Got it.
TAP stands for training, access, and perks. So think about it this way. The Super Bowl is coming up literally in 3 days. If you're a Chiefs fan, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not because you're just the happiest person in the world. If you're an Eagles fan, I actually am sorry. It's been tough. Chiefs and Eagles on Sunday. Think about the Super Bowl with me for a second. There are people that sit at home and watch the game for free, right? They watch the game. They experience the game at home. Then there are people who actually go to the game. Y'all, there are people who pay, I don't know, $5,000 for a single ticket in the upper deck. It's crazy. In New Orleans, and I've been in the upper deck, and you can't see a dang thing. It's terrible. Oh, we got a Bills Nation guy. Barry, I love it. Come on. $5,000. You could have just sat at home and had a better seat. $5,000 to be in the stadium. Then there are people who pay tens of thousands of dollars to get boxes, better yet, to be on the freaking sideline. Tens of thousands of dollars to be on the sideline. Y'all, what's the difference? Well, one of them is going after the 1% or the 10% of that market. And also the other is actually giving them access and perks, right? You get access to the halftime, locker room. You get access to the field. You get access to see the stadium. You get access to these awesome tickets. You get perks by being able to go to the concession line, by being able to get a Super Bowl 56 or whatever Super Bowl it is, mug while you're there, right? Training, access, and perks. A few examples of what you could deliver. How could you package your coaching program to include training, access, and perks? Maybe you build a personal plan. Cody, for a lot of our clients, and the one you were just mentioning is a good example of that, she diagnoses how people write today and then builds them a plan of attack to leverage the Enneagram accordingly. Cool. That's a perk. Maybe you could give them access to done for you elements. In that case that Cody mentioned, maybe she could write a chapter for them to show you what it could look like as an A+ example. Or maybe another level of access could be, hey, if I'm a marriage coach, hey, when you and your wife get in that fight at dinner time, I just want you to know you've got access to me from 6 to 9, not just 9 to 6, from 6 to 9 at night. I'm right here in your corner. You can hit me up. I'm a voice of reason for you. Those are just a few of many ways that you can incorporate training and access and perks into your offer. Okay? Now, the big concept here, the big idea, the entire really 45 minutes to 60 minutes today, this is all about high ticket coaching being a simpler path, a simpler way to generate income online. Most of you guys mentioned earlier large income numbers, 225,000, 250,000, 2 million. Just to do the math, guys, real quickly, because remember, I'm a guy in Alabama. I want a simple path, one that's really tough to screw up. $250,000 divided by a $10 PDF is 25,000 purchases this year. 25,000 purchases this year. Y'all, that's crazy. I don't even think the coffee shop down the street for me does that. Like, that's a lot. And the amount of work that it takes to get 25,000 humans to buy something from you is totally nuts. So, what if you sold a $10,000 thing? To get to $250,000 this year, at a $10,000 price point, you need to sell 25 copies versus 68 sales a day. 25 copies over a year, about 2 a month, versus 68 sales a day. Can you imagine the complexities of the marketing and the channels and the funnels and the tech and the setup and the payment gateways that we have to have 68 sales in a day? That's nuts.
That doesn't even include weekend. I mean, that includes weekends. And it's like if you are selling 25 people in a year, you only need to sell 2 per month. So it's
And
like sell 2 people per month versus 68 per day with no weekends. or like
Yeah.
on
And
weekends
with
off.
the right training and access and perks, and in a little while, if you're leaning into this, I'll ask you. But if you are, I can show you and give you a bonus resource that'll help you frame and create an offer that you work 4 days a week to fulfill. Y'all, this is not a I gotta work 7 days a week and sacrifice time with my family. Y'all, most of your goals were around freedom. Yes, absolutely. So build a business that doesn't just hit your income goals, but creates freedom in your life. That's a big flipping deal. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you want high ticket or not? Like, if you're leaning in, if you're saying, hey, I'm really interested in this, this feels like my jam, type HTO in the chat. Type HTO in the chat if you're like, bro, absolutely. I understand you're not Brian's son, but I'm in. Like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. Sean, Liz, Denise said hot. I like that even more. Yeah. Linda, Joe, HTO, Lawrence, HTO, Denise, totally Connie. Come on now. Amanda, Barb, Julie. Yes. Roland, Gustav, Elaine, Melissa. Sweet. I love it. So a lot of you guys are leaning in, which is awesome. And I just want to ask you guys, like, where are you at? Is this appealing to you? If it is, write HTO in the chat. And a lot of you guys already have. And it sounds like you're ready to rock and roll. And we'll cover that in a second. But also, I want to give all of you who are maybe like, I want to give you room to say that's okay. Y'all, high ticket is not for everybody. HTO is a high ticket offer, Kathleen. High ticket is not for everybody. For a lot of folks, they just want to sell the downsell and have the $10 book or the $30 thing and bring in a few $100 a month, and that's totally okay. There's also another group who says, not now. Maybe, but not yet. Hey, that's cool. What I would encourage you to do is to pray over this over the next 2 days. This replay is going to be available for, I think it's around 48 hours. So pray over this, rewatch it tomorrow, rewatch it Saturday morning or Sunday afternoon. Pray through if this is right for you or not before you ever take that next step, right? But let's talk to those who said HTO: Lena, Hannah, Kathleen, Allison, Barry, Gustav, and more. If you guys are like, hey, man, I'm all in. This is freaking awesome. I'm ready to transform this $10 PDF into a $10,000 high ticket coaching offer. I've got something fun for you. The workshop doesn't have to end right here. So, what I would recommend that you guys do, Cody, if you don't mind throwing this in the chat for me, we have a 3-step action guide that's killer. I've got some awesome bonuses just for you guys that are on this workshop, all related around ditching the $10 PDF and stepping into a high ticket offer. So 3 things that I can get you guys. Number 1, schedule and attend one-to-one session. We call this our Sell Like Crazy strategy session. And on that call, we're going to talk together and actually outline a marketing plan for you of what to do next, where to go from here. Because some of you guys are starting from scratch, and that's a little bit of a different plan than those of you who are like, no, no, no. I have a $5,000 offer. I want to sell a $10,000 offer. Maybe some of you are like, oh, I sell my time hourly and I do that okay right now. I make 60 or 70 grand a year, but I want to make $250,000 a year by selling a $10,000 90-day package. Hey, no matter where you are in that spectrum, if you're leaning in to high ticket offers, go and book your Sell Like Crazy strategy session. The second thing though, so when you book your call, we will email you over 2 resources right out of the gate immediately. Like, you can dive into these things this afternoon, unless you're in Denmark, which I saw earlier and she had to hop off early. I get that. It's late at night, so maybe pick it up tomorrow. But if you are anywhere in the US, you can dive into these 2 assets this afternoon. The first is a 1-page high ticket offer example. You're probably like, how would I create my offer? What does that look like? Y'all, we have 3 offers that convert like crazy that I want to show you. And you can see those real time on a doc and start to build the framework for what your offer could be using our TAP, training, access, and perks, key number 3 that I described earlier. So, number 2, the third asset, the second PDF that we're going to email to you as soon as you book a call with our team. We have a $10,000 client cheat sheet. You'll notice there's a keyword on that. How to get. So a lot of you guys earlier were like, well, yeah, there's a 1%, but how do I get in front of them? Some people said, I fear that I'm only attracting broke people. Y'all, this is the answer for everything that you're thinking right now is, okay, I can build an offer, but how do I attract the right people who would pay for it? Yeah, we specialize in that. We have an entire cheat sheet. So it's a 3-step guide on our number one marketing channel. It's going to answer your question on how do I find the high paying clients? How do I do that? It's there. It's going to show you in 3 simple steps exactly our number one marketing channel for how we find and how we enroll high paying clients. So there's a link in the chat. You guys can click that. It's lp.growtools.com/HTO. Grab all of these resources. And hey, we're going to send you maybe your calls on Monday or maybe your calls on Tuesday. No sweat. We're going to send you 2 awesome resources right when you book your call. You can dive into this weekend. Okay. So if you're leaning in and you're like, man, this sounds awesome, please schedule this out. If you're thinking, I'm not really sure yet, take a couple days to pray over this, rewatch this. And of course, if you're leaning out and it doesn't feel like the right time, I welcome that. That is all good. Do your thing. So what I'd like to dig into, Cody, maybe we can hop into some Q&A. Jillian says she's so ready. That's so hype, Jillian. I love it. Love to see it. I'm so ready too. I got my coffee and I could just run through a wall at 3:45 Central. No flu is holding me down, y'all. Come on. Um, Cody, do we have any questions we can cover? I think I saw a few in the chat earlier.
Yeah, the last question I saw somebody mentioned was that one on like, well, how do you actually find these people? Like Will said, first step is go claim your strategy session because you'll get the cheat sheet for how to get $10,000 clients. Spoiler, we teach and you'll find in that cheat sheet how to do it without needing ads or being on social media. So if those are things that kind of drain you or feel intimidating, it doesn't have anything to do with ads, doesn't have anything to do with social media or SEO or any of those kind of traditional marketing methods. Just like high ticket offers optimize for deep personal connection, this particular marketing channel optimizes for deep personal connection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I would recommend that you guys do is like go grab that. So Sean, you mentioned looking for an influencer strategy. Barry asked, where do we find those people? Y'all, I'm telling you, it's right here. Like, go get this cheat sheet. Book a call and get this cheat sheet. It's all there. The general premise of that concept is by borrowing other people's audiences. Sean mentioned an influencer strategy. Yeah, that's right. So what if, and hear me out here, but what if there were tens of thousands, well, I wouldn't say that, dozens or even hundreds of people that have your audience right now? And what if they promoted you and your expertise to their audience? It'd be pretty cool, right? That's what BOPA is, borrowing other people's audiences. That's what this strategy and this cheat sheet is going to knock down. It's going to show you step 1, step 2, step 3 on exactly what to do to set that thing up. So, yeah, Barry, go grab that. Sean, go grab that. Nick, yay! Yay for BOPA. I love it. That's fun. Virginia,
Actually,
go
oh
ahead.
yeah, I was going to say Virginia. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so Virginia asked, what do you write in your cold email pitches to BOPA, big audience influencers, to become affiliates for your free masterclass high ticket certification funnel? I think the front end of that is the question. I will say this, Virginia, I'm gonna defer to Cody here. 2 things about Cody. Cody pitches about 3 new partners for us to promote us to their audience every day. Okay. Cody also teaches our clients hands-on, live, every other day how to do this. Cody's your guy. Cody, can you answer that quickly?
Yeah. First, disclaimer I would say is like we actually don't teach an affiliate method. We teach a way to borrow other people's audiences in a way that you don't actually have to be paying out affiliate fees to those partners. That's probably the most common way people assume. Maybe if you've heard of JV or joint ventures before, that's another word for like that type of marketing. It's actually not even how we teach it. There's a way you can borrow other people's audience by simply adding value to their audience where they're happy to promote you without needing to give up any fees or pay them for sponsorship or anything like that. So really, it's just about finding people where you can add value to their audience and framing that up for them, pitching it to them in a way that makes sense and is simple, and is a win-win for both of you. And so some people out there with audiences, they are looking for more content. Let's say they every Monday they're supposed to send out a newsletter email to their audience. After a couple years of doing that, they get burnt out. So your content could be one of their newsletters, and if you can present that to them in the right way, they're happy to share your stuff. Or if you have an audience, there's ways you can pitch that to leverage. Hey, why don't we, I'll take my best resource, share it with your audience. You take your best resource and share with my audience. This is a dramatic kind of oversimplification. It is a very simple marketing channel to do, but I highly recommend to just grab the Get 10,000 Clients cheat sheet because it goes way more into depth in this. Just for time, there's only so much that I can actually say right here
Totally.
to still get to some of the other questions. But yeah, and you don't actually even have to have an audience to do this. All you need is to be able to solve a problem for one person. And if it solves one person's problem, then there's likely a whole audience out there who also needs that problem solved.
Love it, Cody. Thanks, man. And hey, quick note, Kathleen had mentioned um, how much does email marketing uh, how much does email marketing bring success? I mean, it's a fairly vague question, but like as it relates to having a high ticket offer in BOPA, our clients find that they're able to land new customers quickly, so they don't have to do email marketing. Although BOPA will help you to grow your email list, Kathleen, and if you want to continue to keep that email list active and engaged for future opportunities for people to book calls and buy your program, then email marketing could be a good strategy for you. So it doesn't have to happen, but of course, no doubt, you can land new customers that way. Uh, Connie mentioned cold email is hard in her world. Connie, what world are you in? What industry? What space are you in?
While she's answering that, something that came to mind for me earlier is when we were showing the screenshots, the slides of um, the people with the high ticket coaching offers that also had the book. A lot of those people, like I know Grant started with a high ticket offer, and like Jeff Grognet started with a high ticket offer, and Michael Wozniak started with a high ticket offer. And the reason I think that that is the what we teach as like the descension model instead of the ascension model, the reason that that's so transformational is because people, these coaches like have worked with people one on one, and then they're able to codify those systems into like a transformational like structure that they can then pass out to the masses. So it's like if you start with the structure that you're like trying to sell, like maybe you have seen that be transformational with people, but it's like you haven't worked with enough people one to one to know if that really is going to work for like a ton of people in a ton of different situations. And so that's where with high ticket offers, like what we're promoting or like encouraging in this presentation is like to start with high ticket, and then eventually you can work your way to the masses once you figured out, hey, this is the system that people need for transformation, and then like you've worked with enough people to know how to apply that in all these different situations. Then you can like codify that information and bring it to the masses and bring it to those people who might not be able to afford the high ticket services, but like the
Right.
people with the high ticket, like they're able to buy into that and give you the profit to then go ahead and like bring your system and your transformation to more and more people who maybe can't afford to work with you one to one. So I just wanted to clarify that too, is that these people did all start with one to one high ticket offers, and then they eventually made their way that way. So it's not like you can't do both, but it's like, what are you starting with?
Totally. Yep. It's the Tesla model, guys. Like the common car that you see on the street every day is not where they began. They began with a $250,000 Roadster in times of economic distress, and that funded everything else for them, right? Connie, you mentioned what is the onboarding time frame? Can you clarify? Do you mean working with our team, or do you mean with when clients hire you with your offer? Um, you had a call with Brian on our team. Cool. Yeah. Onboarding is really simple. So we actually get you kicked off with our founder, Brian. Generally, that's about 3 days after, as late as 3 days after you start. You have a one-to-one call with one of the coaches on our team from there, and then we get rocking and rolling. So we're pretty quick when we work with clients, Connie. You can get back with Brian for any questions you have. Feel free to email him over. Parker, when you say high ticket offer, do you mean one-to-one coaching or group coaching? Great question, dude. Love it. Um, it could be both. So we work with clients who do consulting, so like done for you work. We work with clients who have one-to-one offers. We work with clients who have group coaching. Um, it's a matter of, I would start with the end in mind, Parker. So, what kind of business do you want? Do you want to work with 5 people only for a year and charge them 20K each? Or do you feel like you could run a cohort of folks, right? That works more in line with your schedule. This goes back to your training access and perks. How can you set up a business that creates freedom for you, not just income, right? And like that's a big part of what we work with you on very early on is what is the offer going to be? And if it is group coaching, how and where is it even delivered, right? If it is one-to-one coaching, what's included in that? So Parker, it could be either of those options. The real kind of mechanism for what high ticket offer would be is the price point. Generally, it's 4K plus, $3,000 or more, is what I would deem as high ticket offer, Parker.
And maybe I'll add real quick there. And maybe I'm making an assumption, but a lot of times when people ask that question of like, is it one to one or is it group? Sometimes their concern is time of like, well, how many clients can I actually take with my schedule? Am I
Yep.
going to get maxed out and then I can't take more clients? Is there anything you wanted to speak to that, Will?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing I would say to that is start with the end in mind. Like create something that works around your schedule. So, um, also lean into a coach who's done this before for crying out loud. Like don't try to go through all of the logistics in your head alone on that. A lot of our clients will do group sessions and then they'll do like one-to-one feedback. So that's just an access level that they can get in addition to their group sessions. And that one-to-one feedback might be on Voxer or it might be in Circle or it might be an email. It just depends on what their time to commit in their business actually is, right? So there's a lot of configurations. I would also say go see what this template looks like, this high ticket offer template. You're going to see 3 different offers, Parker, and how they operate and what they look like. And you're probably going to be like, ew to that. There's no way I could do one-on-one calls every day of the week. That sounds terrible. And you might be like, oh, but that's exactly what I've been thinking about that I could potentially run. Most of our clients, I mean, I've seen ten to $12,000 group programs fly off the shelf if the offer is totally dialed in, Parker. So, um, Connie had a question to the team. What percentage of the coaching is personalized versus coursework? If you mean our program, Growth University, none of this is coursework. So like quite literally, we don't even have like videos for you to go previously watch that you just thumb through. This is not a bunch of videos that we dump on your head and say, "Good luck, Connie, like you're on your own. Go find something that's of value to you." This is all individualized. So coaching and training is kind of our 2 core components. Our training is multiple times a week, and those are front leaders on our team who actually train you live, Connie, of what to do and where to go. And then coaching is individualized. So whether it's a quick email or a quick ping or an asset that you want us to review, we'll literally look at what you created, give you a Loom video of how to make it better. End of day always. And then it's group sessions and one-to-one support. So then we have office hours. There's usually 2 to 3 folks on any given time. Y'all, we have 80 office hours a week. Is that right, Bethany? Four a
No,
day.
a month. We have 20 a week, 80 a month.
20 a week, 4 a day. We do. We don't work weekends. We enjoy time with our family. It's sacred to us. But 4 opportunities a day, Connie, for you to get live FaceTime coaching from one of our coaches. So it's a combination. There is a combination of some small group sessions and then one-to-one access when you need us. Yep.
I call it hands-on coaching. Like we're very hands-on or not hands-off. And actually the 3 of us that are on this call, Cody, Will, and myself, and then Brian Harris, we're the 4 people that are training those classes that you take like in the beginning. So you see us a lot, you see your coaches a lot. Like there's literally live calls like 4 to 5 a day that we have our clients have access to. So it's very hands-on coaching.
And to
Totally.
be clear, those 4 to 5 a day are not mandatory. They're there when you need us. You don't have to be on
Yes.
5 times a day.
On
It's
de on demand, on demand,
yes,
yeah.
on
And
demand if you need us.
for crying out loud, today is about building a high ticket offer. You do not need to offer 4 calls a day to your clients to sell a high ticket offer. Okay, just
Correct.
to be clear, our clients are not doing that. working, 10 to 12 hours of fulfillment a week inside of their business. This is not wild. This is not rocket. Most all of you said, I want a $250,000 business to allow me to do this. And a lot of this that it allows you to do is freedom. So building an 80-hour work week, no matter what you get paid, I feel sorry for you. Don't do that. Run and build a high ticket model the right way. So we got a split. It's the top of the hour. I promised I would be on time, or else Brian might drop me and cut me loose from the team, and I can't have that. So Cody just linked up. Please go grab if you're leaning in, if you're like, oh man, this is all me. I'm the high ticket offer king, queen. I gotta have it. Go check it out. There's a link there. There are 3 awesome resources. We are here in your corner to help build your dream business through a high ticket model. If you feel like you're leaning into high ticket, go ahead and schedule out a strategy session with one of our coaches on our team. We will email you 2 resources literally today that you can get access to. One of them is going to show you how to build a high ticket offer. The other one's going to show you how to put that high ticket offer into high paying clients' hands, right? And you can start that this weekend, y'all. You don't have to wait on your call till Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. It's been a wonderful time. I appreciate you. Thank you, Robin. So looking forward to working with you. Robin mentioned that she hired us just last week. So, hey, Robin, welcome aboard. So glad that you are here. Cannot wait to go deep, not wide with you, Robin. Welcome into our family. It's so good to see you here. And Roland, I appreciate you too. Katie, thank you so much. I hope the family gets better as well. Denise, thank you for being here. We will see you guys hopefully soon. And if not, onto our calendars next week. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. See
Bye,
y'all.
guys. See ya.